Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the tarot reading for the weekend of Saturday the 15th and Sunday the 16th of September 2018. Just giving the cards one last little shuffle here, and then one last little cut. 3-card major arcana reading, then one from the swords, one from the wands, one from the pentacles, one from the cups, and then a word from the wild Kuan Yin oracle. Okay, here we go. Card number 1, the energy as we come into the reading, the Wheel of Fortune. Interesting, we had this as the key to power in the reverse yesterday. Cool. Card number 2, the block or drain, strength. And card number 3, the key to power, judgment. Woohoo! Wow. Okay. More letting go, more letting go. Sort of. Okay, I'm going to go straight for the strength card here. Now this is, for me, about the act of, or the process of exerting mature control on your inner rampant toddler. But I need to just zoom out a little bit and look at the big picture here. Right, yeah. Whatever digging and delving you engage in this weekend, it's going to have to be done, or it's most productively done, with a very wide shovel. I'll put it that way. It needs to go, I would say, beyond you, because there are forces in play here in the Wheel of Fortune that, yeah, are not solely to do with you. And really, this strength here as the block or drain, or the draining block, or the blocking drain, or the blocked drain. This is sort of focusing on the self, on the story of you. And this is not going to be productive because it's bigger. And interesting, look, we have card number 10, card number 11, card number 20. So there's a big leap to be made from, goodness me, everything's up for grabs. Goodness me, grab the jaws of that lion and sort of work out what's going on inside myself. Oh man, this is much bigger than I thought it was. Because, I mean, there is a similar energy, really, in strength and judgment. There is a similar energy in it. It's about what's under the surface, what's going on down below. And here we have the lion, kind of wild id. And here we have the dead and the buried, the kind of the done, the finished with, you thought. This is stuff coming back from the past. I mean, some people see this as a second chance, judgment. But what I'm seeing here is, again, it's about broadening your vision away from yourself and your own history, your own story, to the kind of universal story of the world. This is about, in a sense, seeing that you and your story and your history and all the rest of it, and yeah, it's not unique. I mean, yes, everything every person is unique and every person's path is unique. But if every person is unique, then we're all the same, aren't we? Funny little conundrum that. I've always thought that's interesting. If everyone's unique, then no one's unique. Broaden your vision. Broaden your vision and sort of embrace the fact that, yeah, you've got your own story, your id, your inner rampant toddler, your kind of weaknesses and all of the rest of it to kind of tame, as the lady is doing here. I love the fact, I love the fact she's wearing a crown, but she ain't got no shoes on. I love it. The barefoot queen. Beautiful, beautiful. And here in the judgment card, king, queen, earl, emperor, beggar, it doesn't make any difference at this point. All will face death, all will be buried, and when the angel of judgment blows the horn and the sun shines out of the darkened sky, no one escapes judgment. This is about the universal nature of the human experience, if that doesn't sound too grandiose. But I mean, really, on a more practical level, this is about understanding that everybody has their weaknesses. Everyone has some skeletons in the cupboard. Everyone has their vulnerabilities, not just you. And focusing on this, what I'm seeing here in this strength in the position of the block or the drain here is a kind of isolation, a feeling of isolation, feeling like you're the only one who's got any shit going on and who's got stuff they need to sort out inside themselves. That's not the case at all. Not the case at all. We all have stuff buried in the cupboards, in the bottom drawer, at the back of the wardrobe, right, shoved in a little box in the garage. We've all got it. And in a sense, this sort of feeling like, I'm not focusing too much on this. In a sense, what's the point in focusing too much on this? This is how it always is. Right? Wheel of Fortune. I mean, good. It's in the upright. There's everything to play for. But, I'm not too bothered about that, especially as this turned up as the key to power in the reverse yesterday. So, the wheel has turned. And it's still what it is. It's still the wheel. Right way up, wrong way up. Who's to say? Where was I going with this? Yeah. In a sense, this strength here in this middle position, there's a kind of endless self-reference going on here. And it is possible, and I've experienced this many, many times in my life, that people who are kind of very worried about who they are, the kind of person they are, vulnerable, low self-esteem people, and this is not a totality of vulnerable and low self-esteem people, but I have noticed that it is possible for people who consider themselves and announce themselves and describe themselves as having low self-esteem have an uncanny way of utterly taking over the space. It's really interesting. It's a funny kind of flip that goes on. I remember this chap I knew who had low self-esteem and some problems, and we'd all be hanging out together, and basically the whole space was dominated by him. He barely said a word, but he managed to control the energy in the room. And I don't know whether he was trying to do that, but that was the upshot. because everyone was kind of positioning themselves around him because he was self-confessedly full of low self-esteem. And he had this thing that if he left the room to go to the toilet or something, go to the toilet, he was convinced the whole time he was out of the room that everyone was talking about him. Now, low self-esteem, high self-importance, very, very interesting. That's what I'm seeing here. As I say, you are not the only person with stuff to sort out inside themselves. This is like the judgment card here is like a magnified, global, kind of universal, no shit, Sherlock, everyone's got problems version of the strength card. And, this can be very, very liberating to realise that you're not alone in not being freaking perfect. Let's get one from the swords. Okay, Knight of Swords. Rapid entry of information, communication, and I don't know, I've got the Eight of Wands in my mind as well with this, in this context. It'll be interesting to see what comes up in the Wands. Something might boot you out of this energy. Some event, some exchange, some communication coming in what I would say here, and I'm sticking my neck out here because I haven't seen the Wand and the Pentacle and the Cup yet, let alone the word from Kuan Yin. But what I would say is that something might be said this weekend that it's possible for you to take personally, but it would be much, fuck it, I'll stick my neck out, better for you not to take personally. We've all got stuff buried at the back of the fucking cupboard. But something might get said, some throwaway comment, or perhaps something that kind of requires your attention, or that catches your attention. And you can make it all about you, or not. But the way to not make it all about you is not to say that it's just a crock of shit and it's just irrelevant. The way to not make it about you is to see that it's actually about everyone. And I mean, the people who seem the most untroubled, just have a little, bear in mind and have a little thought that the fact that they make it plain that they are untroubled in life shows that they have an express need to communicate that. And what does that tell you? The people who are really untroubled, well, A, they don't bloody exist, but B, you never get told that they're untroubled. They're just kind of cool and friendly and just kind of easygoing, but they don't bloody go on about how sorted they are and how enlightened they are. It's just worth a thought there. And there's something going on in that with this Knight of Swords coming in so quickly. There's an opportunity to not take it personally. Okay, not the Eight of Wands, the Two of Wands. So, like, what's out there for you in this? We've got a big horizon out in front of him here, and he's looking at it, and I can't tell from the way this is illustrated whether he's looking out onto the vista of the real world that is spread out before him, or whether he's actually ignoring that and looking down at the globe and holding on very tight to that wand and leaving the other one bolted to the wall. It's a bit difficult to tell, But whatever it is, he is actually facing what's out there. And I'm just seeing a really big correlation between that and this. You know, there's, as I said, when the angel of judgment blows the trumpet, everyone is called to account. Everyone and everything. And that universal nature of that, for me, is mirrored here in the Two of Wands. But I'm just going to lay that down and see how that fits in as we go on. Okay, a pentacle now. Interesting, we had this yesterday. Issues of fairness, I guess. I'm just going to put it down and see what it might mean. In fact, I'm going to go on and pull the cup. King of Cups. Okay. Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite similar theme to yesterday, funnily enough, to the reading for Friday the 14th. To the reading I did yesterday, which was about today. Come on, sugar-free, get with it. The way that the self-focus, the unhelpful, oh God, it's only me who has this problem or does this thing or can't sort themselves out or reacts in this way or feels this way, is somehow connected with issues to do with power in the world and what is given and what is withheld. Now, I do wonder whether there is a waiting here or an expectation of some freedom to be granted to you, some permission to be granted to you, for you to unbolt that wand from the wall, put down that globe, and actually get out and walk into this landscape in front that you're waiting for a signal or for perhaps for an input, perhaps for a kind of spiritual or real financial cash injection for you to get on and do what it is you want to do. And that the fact that this isn't coming or hasn't come is interpreted as a source of kind of self-focusing, sort of, you know, why me? Why me? Why can't I have what I want? I mean, ultimately, that's what all problems in life are about. It's the same problem, but it can be split into two basic halves. And yet again, the super cool Buddhists go on about this. They say that there are two basic problems in life, but really it can be boiled down into one. The two basic problems: wanting something that you do not have, and having something that you do not want. Okay, that's desire and aversion. Wanting it, not wanting it. But basically, it all boils down into one problem, which is that things are not as I wish them to be. And all other unhappiness in life springs from that. Here I am seeing it as a matter of thinking that the unfairness involved in things not being as you wish them to be is simply to do with you. The key to power here is to see that it is not, that we are all subject to wanting things to be the way we want them to be, and perhaps not being able to pull that off. Now, I've seen other readers who see the King of Cups here as a kind of like a right old cold fish. But I'm not, you know, and sort of stern and sort of hiding his emotions and all of this. But there is also a really good side to being stern and disciplined and not just going puther with your emotions like the Knight of Swords would. I'm not saying that's what the Knight of Swords represents here necessarily. Or, you know, not allowing the inner rampant toddler represented by the lion in the strength card here to just like roar and run amok. There's stoicism here. There's some stoicism to be tapped into. But the key to it, you know, and that you know, we've all got problems. Like, get over yourself. I don't mean that nastily, but really, and it's so easy to feel like it's only us, and it's never the case. You know, we're all subject to the fact that we can't control the world and other people. We just can't. We're all subject to that. And the King of Cups here is telling me to just like, you know, sit with it. Just sit with it. I mean, look, he's just sitting with it. He's got all this stuff going on, all this water running under that stone, and he's dipping his toe in the water there, but he's not shifting an inch. But behind him is this very little but rather lovely ship with red sails, and I do see that as a ship coming in. So, I mean, oh God, I just got that Rolling Stones song in my mind that Donald Trump used. Weirdly used. I think it was surreal and frankly a little bit sinister using this in an election campaign. You know, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you might get what you need. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the politics, but I do see a ship coming in here. But it's a question, as I say, of basically understanding that you are not the only one. It's not particularly, life is not particularly unfair on you. It's unfair on all of us. And therefore, weirdly, there's a kind of fairness there, isn't there? Let's see what Kuan Yin has to say. I'm going to hold the deck and I'm going to recite the mantra in my mind. The mantra out loud, I will tell you, is Namo Kuan Shi Yin Pusa. Oh. Right, we get, come on, focus, Daughters of the Red Tent. Wow. Well, I guess the red tent is something a bit special. What goes on in the red tent? Now, I've got the book that goes with this oracle, but I have deliberately not read it because I prefer to interpret these things myself. So I'm just going to turn this round and have a little look. Okay, a place is being prepared here. We've got one little girl over here who's kind of working out where everyone's going to sit. We've got a little girl over here who I am wondering might be just having a last cuddle on this sheep before it is slaughtered for food. And we have the little girl in the middle unfolding, I would say, a piece of cloth that's going to be draped and will form part of this tent. And I'm saying that because it's red and it's talking about the red tent. So a place is being prepared here with great care and great welcoming. Uh, so there is sanctuary. And I mean, just a little word about these tents that these Mongolian people live in, and the nomads, the plains nomads, out with their sheep and their yaks and everything. I mean, those things that you don't get wet in there, you don't get cold in there. The breeze don't get in. They're solid, absolutely solid. So sanctuary is here. Yeah, and I wonder also. I see the red cord tied around the horn of this ram, perhaps marking it out for slaughter, for celebration. A place is being prepared here, a place of sanctuary. And I guess I'm just going to wrap this up. You get to go in the tent and share that space in the tent with your fellows and eat and drink and celebrate and sleep in the warmth with your fellows when you understand that the difficulties in life are not yours alone. The key to power here is judgment, and no one escapes that. We're all in that together. Right, I'll wrap that up. I do hope you enjoyed that. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Let me know in a comment if that resonates. And yeah, I'll see you again for another reading. Have a lovely weekend. Cheers, bye-bye.